Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning all of you. This is Ashima and you're watching us on Entri channel. So this video is about daily current affairs in which we talk about the daily news events, and those events have been planned and framed in such a way that you gain as much information as possible. So it is more of a descriptive type. That means that all the examinations are covered. There's no particular examination, but all government examinations, all the examinations that you give basically, they are going to be beneficial. And it is more of an informative segment, informative being that we are going to talk about the news events in a bit of detail so that all the aspects of the news event are covered. Right? For all those who want the questionnaire, so for questionnaire segment, we have a daily quiz which happens on Entri app, which you can download from Google Play Store. And apart from that, every week on Thursday, we have a live session of mine at 9 p.m. So at 9 p.m. I come live every Thursday, and in that segment we talk about the daily news events and we talk about the quiz or questionnaire. So that whole video is framed in a basis of questionnaire, and in that we discuss about the formats of question and everything, right? So that is every Thursday live at 9 p.m. and that you can join, or you can take up the quiz on Entri app every day, right? So now beginning with the news event. The first news event that we're going to talk about is Apex Committee, which has been created for the implementation of the Paris Agreement. Now, yesterday we were talking when we were discussing about the few things that at that time we had talked that India is the first among the G20 countries to reach the pre-2020 line of 2015 Paris Agreement, right? So now as becoming the first one, India has launched a portal for climate change. Now, after the portal, what India's next step is that an Apex committee has also been framed, which will look after the implementation of Paris Agreement. That is, whether the implementation is in the right direction or not. Right, so Apex Committee for Implementation of Paris Agreement, AIPA, has been formed, and it will act as national authority for regulating carbon markets within the country. So the regulation, now when the portal was formed, the idea of the portal was that this is going to help people be aware about what is happening for climate change in India, right? So what are the steps that government is taking on national and international level? For that purpose, that whole portal was created. Now this committee has been created which will look after the implementation of all the policies that are created. So whatever policies are created, those implementation will be taken care of by this committee. Right now, if we talk about this committee, there are certain obligations which also include nationally determined contributions, NDCs. They will also be framed on in this via this committee, right? So who is going to be the chairman of the committee? The chairman of the committee is going to be the Secretary of Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Not the Union Minister. It will be the Secretary of Union Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. And overall there are going to be 17 members in this committee, which will keep in track that the movement of India in climate change is in the right direction. Now, or the implementation of nationally determined contributions, or NDCs, is going to take place or is going to be monitored by this IPA. It will communicate and report the progress of India's status on achieving the NDC to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So UNFCCC will be altered about all the movements that India is taking place or is doing to benefit the climate change. Right now, apart from that, if we talk about NDCs, like there's a huge talk about NDCs also. So NDCs were framed in 2015 when the 2015 Paris Agreement was there. At that time, NDCs were also framed, and there are three major goals of NDCs. First is that reduction of GDP emission intensity by 33 to 35% by 2030. And the level of, like, if you're reducing it, there has to be something by which we need to reduce. So reduce it by the level of 2005. Right. Next, carbon sink is to be created of about 3 billion tons of carbon. and increase the share of non-fossil fuels, usage of non-fossil fuels by 40%, right? That is why India has been working a lot towards solar panels and wind energy and stuff like that. That is the reason why India is creating hybrid parks, as we can say. Next, new military deal has been signed between China and Pakistan. Now, we all know that China and Pakistan movements have been going on together since a long time. In terms of defense, also, both of the countries are moving quite good together. So recently, General Wei Yenge of People's Liberation Army, China, visited the Pakistani Army headquarters at Rawalpindi, and there a certain agreement was signed or MOU was signed which has not been disclosed as of now. That is, the terms of it and whatever has happened has not been disclosed, but such a thing has taken place is what we know as of now, right? Now, if we talk about the relations have been going quite good. There is the China has a project which is known as Belt and Road Initiative. Belt and Road Initiative is there of China. So in Pakistan has been included in this, right? And under this China-Pakistan economic corridor has been made, which is a 3,000-kilometer long economic corridor, which has highways also, which has railway also, which has pipelines also, and it provides a good connectivity in all formats. Apart from that, there is a Kohala hydropower project which is very important because India is protesting against this. The reason is that this hydro project will be created in Pakistan occupied Kashmir POK, over which they cannot do that. It will be built over Jhelum River. So this project has been is going to be built by China. Pakistan has allowed it, but it is not particularly something which should be allowed. That is why India is quite against it, right? And so India's main concern is that this corridor which is there, the China-Pakistan economic corridor, it passes through POK region also, right? And CPEC or the economic corridor which we have, it will shorten the route to Gwadar port, which is of China. It's in Pakistan, which is of China. So, there are certain instances where we can say that India is in a certain point of threat of a certain kind. Right? Next, avian influenza outbreak happened in Japan. In Japan, avian influenza outbreak had happened recently. So it was discovered in poultry farm in Haigua city of Japan, and it is a highly contagious viral disease, and it affects turkeys, chickens, guinea fowl. All of them are affected via this avian influenza, which is going on in Japan as of now, right? It is so strong that in the range of 3-kilometer radius, the people who are there, the scientists who are there, the farms who are there, they all have been affected within 3 kilometers of the range. And it is the largest and the strongest outbreak in Japan since 2016. Now, global influenza surveillance and response system is there, which monitors the outbreak of potentially pandemic viruses, and it was created in 1952, right? So it has national influenza centers and WHO, both of them collaborate towards working of it. It is the backbone of the global alert system of influenza, and it is this system or response system which has created a strategy for controlling the spread of virus and the seasonal influenza, which is showing its outbreak in Japan as of now. Right? So usage of vaccines and what WHO can do and what the country can do, all the steps are laid out by this GIRSRS. Right? Next is Boko Haram. Now, what exactly is Boko Haram? First of all, let's have a look at what is the issue. So, on northeast region of Nigeria, the attack on farm workers has been witnessed recently. So, that means Boko Haram is somewhere associated with Nigeria. So, what is Boko Haram? It is a terrorist organization of Nigeria, and Boko Haram jihadists are being blamed for the killing of these farm workers in the Nigerian region, right? And this attack was somewhere near the capital Maiduguri, near the Borno capital, which is Maiduguri in Nigeria. So what exactly is the issue? Now, Boko Haram is a terrorist organization and it has been disturbing the northeastern region of Nigeria since long, right? Why the northeast region and not the southern parts? Because the southern parts of Nigeria, people, got educated, built themselves up. So southern region was under British rule and north region was under the Muslim Emirates. So in Nigeria, there were two rulers which were there. There was a south region which was under British rule, and the north region was under Muslim rulers. So Muslim rulers were there in the northern region, right? Now, due to Muslim majority, there was a lot of conservatism that was there. So southern region, they got educated, they performed good academically, they built themselves and they are growing very good. Whereas the northern region, there is a lot of discrimination, a lot of illiteracy due to which these groups or these jihadist groups are growing as of now in that region. Right? So Boko Haram was built on the principle of Salafism. Now here you can see it means Western education. In Boko Haram as a word means that Western education is forbidden or not allowed. That is, the south of Nigeria education is not allowed. And it was formed on the basis and principles of Salafism. Now, what is Salafism? Salafism movement was developed via Sunni Islam. And this majorly focuses on spread of Islam, right? Now, Boko Haram has so far kidnapped a lot of children since 2013 and is responsible for about 6,700 killings so far, right? Who was the founder of Boko Haram? It was Muhammad Yusuf, and it was in 2002 when Boko Haram was formed. And its major purpose was to establish a religious center so that poor Muslim families can come together, right? So this is the idea, that bring all the Muslim people together and keep the rule as it is supposed to be. That is, keep the people illiterate and keep your majority, right? And their idea is to create a Islamic state. The idea is to create Islamic state, right? Next, US Air Quality Index. Now, what about US Air Quality Index? Now, recently this index was released, and according to it, again, Lahore is the world's most polluted cities in the world. So, it is not the first time that Lahore has become the world's most polluted city. And what was its pollution or air quality index? That was about 423. Second rank was of Delhi. So, Delhi has been beaten by Lahore. So, Delhi's rank was approximately 229. And third was Kathmandu, which is the capital of Nepal, and its particulate ranking was 178. There are 5 major air pollutants which are measured in this index, that being ground level ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, and particulate matter. Now, why ground level ozone? Ozone is good in the stratosphere, that where it is helpful. But if it is below that, then it is not helpful. It is harming the environment if it is below that. So that is considered as a pollutant. Now, air quality index between 0 to 50 is very good, and minimal impacts are there. But as the numbers increase, that is when the range becomes 51 to 100, it is satisfactory. 101 to 200, moderately polluted. 201 to 300, poor. 301 to 400, very poor. 401 to 500, that is severe. So severe quality is only of one, that is Lahore. And all of these standards have been created to keep a slab of the pollutants that are there. Next is Orundoi scheme. Who has launched this scheme? Recently in the Assam budget it was announced. So Assam government has launched it in the whole of state. Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal. So Sonowal is the Chief Minister of Assam, and he launched this scheme recently. It was announced in the budget, but it had not been launched till now. So now finally it has been launched, or the shape has been given to it. Total 29 districts are there in Assam. All the districts are going to benefit from it. What is the scheme? That is empowering of women. So how empowering of women? That is a minimum amount of 830 per month will be given to the account of the women or the female head of the house. So whoever has been nominated as a female head of the house in Assam, into her bank account, the government is going to transfer at least a minimum of 830 rupees per month as a substantial amount to keep it in track, right? So this was announced in 2020-21 budget, and finally it is going to be implemented. It is the first of its kind in the country. No other state has ever done or taken such a step, right? So why 830 rupees has been set as a minimum amount? That is so that pulses and medicines and rupees and all of those basic requirements, which are there, sugar and vegetables, those basic requirements for a month have been taken, and including that, the whole of this thing has happened, right? Now, how is it going to be benefited? Like, from where is the money going to come? So it will be directly transferred from e-Kuber system of RBI. RBI has an e-Kuber system. Now, what is e-Kuber system? It is a core banking solution of Reserve Bank of India. Core banking solution means that it offers the customer-centric services 24/7, no matter where the customer is, right? So it is a day-to-day operation which happens, and it is basically a software. eCuber is a software which works 24/7, and it does all the transactions related to the bank on daily basis, that is on a day-to-day basis, right? So when money is transferred from eCuber system to a scheme, it reaches the beneficiary as soon as it is sanctioned. That is, today it is sanctioned. From the eCuber system, it will reach directly over there, right? So it is a day-to-day basis work of or a core banking solution system of RBI for instant transfer of the funding and amount. Next, Bru tribe refugee crisis issues, conflicts, resettlement and protests have been going on in Tripura as of now. So let's have a look at what is going on. Bru or Riang tribe is an indigenous community of Northeast, and it lives in Tripura, Assam and Mizoram. These are three primary states where this Bru tribe resides as of now, right? In Tripura, it is recognized as a vulnerable group. In Mizoram, it is a ethnic organization, a targeted ethnic organization. And in Tripura, so recently these Mizoram, Tripura, where they are already endangered and running around, there was an agreement which was signed between center and the two states, and this sparked the Mizos and Bengali groups in Tripura that we also want some kind of settlement, right? Now, what are the reasons of the protest? Now, according to the agreement which was signed in 2020, Tripura has planned 12 resettlement spots in 6 districts where these people are going to be resettled. And every resettled family will be given 1.5 lakh rupees of housing assistance, 0.03 acres of land for building a home, and 4 lakh rupees as one-time cash benefit for leaving their land or wherever the resettlement is going to take place. So why the protests are going on, right? What are the reasons that they are protesting? 1997, there was 3,700 Bru tribals which came from Mizoram to Tripura due to the ethnic clashes that were happening, right? Now in January 2020, this agreement was signed that these people will be resettled, right? So these people, they are going to be camps which are going to be created. Now after camps, this resettlement is going to happen because they are migrants to the state, right? So the issue that is coming is that these people don't want to leave their ancestral land. They don't want to leave the land that they have of their own, even though they have been provided with a certain amount of land, a certain amount of money, but still they don't want to leave their lands. And that is the reason why this whole issue is coming up. Now, Brus are an Indian-Chinese community. They basically live in Northeast, but it's an Indo-Chinese community, right? So they are very much targeted by the ethnic organizations of the area, right? Now, it is a demand that Brus should be excluded from electoral rolls as well because it is an Indo-Chinese group and not an indigenous group, right? Next, Duare Sarkar scheme is being launched by Bengal government. So what is in the scheme? That is, a lot of camps are going to be set up at every level of legislature, of executive, and over there the basic schemes, the major schemes of West Bengal are going to be reaching the people out there. So be it Kanyashri scheme or Kathya Sathi or Shiksha Shri program, all these programs details are going to be transferred up, or you can say inferred to the groups and people out there. Then SCO Council of Heads government meeting was held recently. It was the 19th meeting which was held recently, and the chair of this meeting was M. Venkaya Naidu. In this meeting, the first ever SCO online exhibition on shared Buddhist heritage was organized, or it was announced for the first time that such a thing is going to happen. Therefore, this was important. Next, Professor Sangeeta Srivastav has been appointed as Vice Chancellor of University of Allahabad, and it is the first time that a woman has been appointed as a Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University. Before that, there has not ever been a female Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University. Right? Next, pandemic has been chosen as the top word of 2020 by Merriam-Webster dictionary. So top word, obviously December has come, so word of the year is going to come out. What does pandemic mean? Pan means everyone, demos means people or population, which is a Latin or a Greek word. So pandemic means where all the people are affected, and this was the word of the year as per Merriam-Webster dictionary. Next, world's loneliest elephant has been moved from Pakistan to Cambodia. The name of this elephant is Kavan, who is 36-year-old. Kavan, who is a 36-year-old elephant, he has been moved from Islamabad Zoo to a Cambodian sanctuary. It is the only Asian elephant left in Pakistan as of now. Then Thai mangoor is a catfish that was banned by National Green Tribunal recently, quite a time back, because it was harming the consumers also as well as the ecosystem also. Why has it come to news then? The reason it is in news is because there have been some illegal breeding that is happening in 125 artificial ponds in Thane in Maharashtra. So where the artificial breeding is happening is important, and what is the name of the breed and what kind of fish is it. So it is a catfish. Thai mangoor is a catfish which was banned in the year 2000 by NGT because it was harming the people as well as the ecosystem. Right? It decreases the native fish species. It feeds on the fishes and decreases their species. Next, Hornbill Festival, which is the festival of Nagaland. It is a 10-day annual festival. For the first time, this festival is being held in a digital mode. Otherwise, every time it happens in a real life mode. Right? It shows the Naga ethnicity and the folk and the dance and everything. It shows the ethnicity of the area. So it starts from 1st of December every year until 10th of December. It's a 10-day festival, so till 10th of December it runs, and it shows Nagaland in its large and colorful arena, right? So it is named after the hornbill, which is a bird. Right? In Nagaland folklore, you'll hear a lot about hornbills, and that is why they named their festival as Hornbill Festival. Right? So with this, we wind up the segment of today. I'll do like the session, share the session, and for those who want the live segment, the live class happens every Thursday. For weekly current affairs, you can say it happens every Thursday at 9 p.m. So you can join me there. Apart from that, you can take up a quiz on Entri app.